God. Ask God.
Hey, Scott, I got a question. How important is it to have a film with your Amazon product? So if I go to your product and I see an image and then maybe two more images and then finally a film at the bottom, and this is a film that you make, not a customer review film, but a film that you make that describes it to me, shows it, and gives me better understanding of it. What are your thoughts on that and the importance of that in the entire process? Thanks.
All right, so great question. I wish that I could address you by first name, but I did not get a first name, so I'm just going to say thanks for submitting the question, you. Guys, leave your first name, please. I want to be able to address you. I want to be able to mention you by name because if we were in a coffee shop, I would be meeting you and we would be saying like, hey, what's up? John, how you doing, man? Good. Okay, cool. Let's get down to business, right? So anyway, just a little side note there. All right, cool. Good question. Here's the deal. All right. Now, it wasn't available to put a video in our listing up until recently, where if you opened a Vendor Express account, basically, and then got approved and all that stuff, then you were able to, I believe it was, and I'm trying to remember, it was like up to 5 videos for 5 different listings. So they were allowing you to put the video in the placeholder of your images. Now, I'm not sure if that's still possible, but it was. They were kind of doing that to incentivize you to use Vendor Express. But there's also some reasons that you may or may not want to use Vendor Express. Now, I'm not going to get into all of that, but one of the things is you get to use all of their ad placements as well. So you get different places that you can put your ads. You can do a banner and stuff like that. But it does also allow Amazon to sell your product, and there's some things there that you need to consider when doing that. It was my understanding that you didn't necessarily have to allow them, but it was there if you wanted to. But again, things are changing so frequently, so I'm not going to give you 100% what it is because who knows, it could be changing. But something to look into. The second thing is they just rolled out enhanced content for brand registered businesses, okay, or brands. Now, that's not available yet either inside of that, but I do have a hunch that eventually that will become available, okay? But right now it is not. But if you have a way, whether it's using Vendor Express or when they roll it out in enhanced content, if they do, then yes, I think that's a great idea because people want to see it being used for the most part. Depending on your product, again, it goes down to the product. Does the product lend itself well to a demonstration video? Now, the other thing that I've seen work, and it works pretty well, is when someone leaves a review on your product, and that review is towards the top of your reviews, okay? Because maybe people seen it, they got value from it, so then it got upvoted. Now, this is something that you can't go out there and say, hey, I'll give you product, so you leave me a review. Again, it's that whole receive reviews in exchange for compensation and all that stuff. So you can't do that. But in the past, having a video that was in there, and even if you have someone right now that does just happen to leave a video and people start to like it, it will start to push itself up to the top and become one of the first things that they see in the reviews. And that can be very powerful. The best place is going to be in your images, for sure, okay, in that image location. Now, again, with the enhanced content, not quite sure when and if they'll roll that out, but I have a hunch that they will because I know that it's a benefit that they know is good for the consumer because it gives them, a way for them to see the product being used, and it's kind of like a little infomercial in a sense. It can be, or just a demonstration to show you that someone else is using it and how they're using it. So if you are not brand registered, that would be the first thing because then that'll open up the ability to use the enhanced content. If you guys have not heard about the enhanced content yet, I'm going to direct you over to episode 294, where I had my good friend Chris Schaefer on. We talked all about it, and you can go ahead and check that out. I'll also link that up in the show notes. So that would be my, my thoughts on this at this point. That yes, if you can get a video in that placeholder, I think it's going to benefit you. I think your conversions will go up, but there's no proof, right? We don't have any proof because it's going to vary between products and listings and all that stuff. But if you have the ability, then yes. But I wouldn't spend all my time trying to figure that out, right? I just wouldn't. Unless you're totally out of things to do for that listing and you want to spend some time on it, then fine. But that wouldn't be my main focus. But if you can get a video there, yes, and it would be a good idea to have something professionally shot as well, I think, so it looks clean, it looks professional. But if you have the opportunity to do it, do it. And if you don't, then I would just get the enhanced content in there, because enhanced content to me is going to be almost as good, because you can tell the story, or you can explain a lot of the bullets or a lot of the features and benefits through images, and then the text that goes alongside that, and it looks prettier and all that stuff, so it's easier on the eyes. So definitely go check out episode 294 when you're done listening to this, of course. All right, so hopefully that answered your question. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session, and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business, and this way here you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.